Certainty that Tony Stark will make his triumphant return to the MCU, whether it's through an Armored War cameo or by some other means. Thanks to the multiverse, the MCU now boasts multiple Iron Men. The burning question is, which iteration will take the spotlight? Well, if you think about it, a mutant Iron Man is an interesting concept, and there are some versions of it in the comics, and the MCU could bring that version. In the comic series X-Men Legacy by Simon Spurrier and Tan Eng Huat, David Haller, aka Legion, the son of Charles Xavier and one of the most powerful mutants ever, creates a persona called Iron Man. He uses his reality warping powers to manifest a suit of armor that resembles Iron Man's, but with more advanced features such as nanotechnology, teleportation, and psionic weapons. He also has a miniature arc reactor in his chest that powers his suit and his other personas. And if you think about it again, Deadpool 3 is coming with multiverse because you know how the end credits scene. So Wade goes back in time and saves his wife GF whatever, he also saves Peter and kills a version of himself. Is that all canon in that universe or what? And not to forget, he almost baby Hitler. Well, what I'm trying to say, what if he created Wormhole in timeline like Loki did when he steals the Tesseract from S.H.I.E.L.D. and creates a wormhole, and now in Deadpool 3 TVA is after him, so he teams up with Wolf Guy, Logan. And between traveling in past time or multiverse, he stumbles upon a mutant Iron aka Iron Man. In this version, Tony Stark isolates himself from the rest of the world as Terrigen mists are released in the atmosphere. To save himself from mutation, Tony creates the Iron Manor for himself. He also creates the Iron Avengers, under the orders of President Norman Osborn. Upon the arrival of the Celestials, Tony used his Iron Manor to fight them. As the Celestials obliterated his Iron Manor, Galactus arrived just in time to defeat the Celestials. Though Tony survived the destruction of his Iron Manor, he was impaled by a wreckage causing his death. Well, we are onto the topic, then why not talk about this alternate version of Iron Man is the most interesting, as this time, it is not Tony Stark who dons the suit of armor, instead it is Victor Von Doom. After the events of Civil War II, in comics Dr. Doom seeks for redemption and dons the Iron Man armor. As Iron Man, he strikes terror in the hearts of supervillains, as they are aware of Doom's capabilities. Despite his good intentions, Dr. Doom is not trusted by most heroes and has to really try hard to be a hero. Now that being let out, let's talk about Avengers Secret Wars is about to be the culmination of the entire multiverse saga, and due to what we have seen of the multiverse theory so far, we can 100% expect to see heroes from across all different universes coming together to fight Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is one of the most formidable enemies that the Avengers have ever faced in the Marvel Comics. Luckily, the multiverse theory also provides Marvel Studios with the perfect way of bringing Stark back without having to revive him, especially because he would eventually have to return to his own reality. Coincidentally, Tony Stark is one of the only Avengers that Kang moderately fears because of his extensive knowledge about time travel, making him instrumental in the fight against this foe. Armor Wars was originally slated to be a Disney Plus show that followed War Machine, aka James Rhodes, as he tries to clean up the aftermath of what happens when Stark Technologies falls into the wrong hands. However, the decision was suddenly made to produce the title as a feature film instead. Why? This hasn't yet been answered, but many fans think it's because Marvel were trying to make the title more alluring for Robert Downey Jr. to return to his role of Iron Man, which would make sense as it is his suits they are trying to recover. After his tragic death in Avengers Endgame, Marvel has made it clear they do not wish to fully resurrect Tony, but instead could bring him back in the form of flashbacks to share past information with Rhodey about the missing armor and technology, helping him in his journey to recover it. It's a long shot, but fans are hopeful. The last place we are likely to see the return of Tony Stark is in the Ironheart Disney Plus series, with her MCU debut creeping up on us, with the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever slowly getting closer and closer. Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, may be the reason we get to see our favorite suit-wearing billionaire again. In the comic books, Stark becomes a mentor to Riri after she manages to successfully reverse engineer her own suit from one of his and uses it to do some good, but he mentors her as an AI because the real Tony Stark is in a coma. With her debut coming up, we might see him come along for her debut, or we might see him returning for episodes here and there as part of Ironheart on Disney+. Either way, we would be happy to see him. As always, please take all of this with a pinch of salt. There hasn't been a single iota of evidence to suggest that Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark might actually be returning to the MCU, so this is not a guaranteed fact by any means. It is, however, a hope and a theory based on the current trajectory of the MCU. Is it likely? Probably not. Will that stop us from hoping? Definitely not. Let us know if you agree with any of the theories, and if you think that Tony Stark might eventually make his way back into the MCU, and if it's going to be a little sooner than we think. Iron Man 4 Resurrection seems to be a topic of great interest among Marvel fans. The multiverse certainly opens up intriguing possibilities for Tony Stark's return. There have been various comic book iterations of Iron Man, including the mutant version from X-Men Legacy, where David Haller takes on the Iron Man persona. Deadpool 3's incorporation of the multiverse and time travel aspects adds complexity to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The concept of Wade Wilson potentially creating a wormhole akin to Loki's actions with the Tesseract and teaming up with Logan is captivating. Additionally, the alternate storyline where Tony Stark creates the Iron Manor and Iron Avengers in response to Terrigen Mists is intriguing, as is the idea of Doctor Doom taking up the Iron Man mantle for redemption. The prospect of Tony Stark's return in Avengers Secret Wars and Armor Wars is exciting, and it's clear that Marvel Studios is exploring various avenues to keep his legacy alive, possibly through flashbacks, AI mentoring, or appearances in the Ironheart series. While there's no concrete evidence of Robert Downey Jr.'s return to the MCU as Tony Stark, these theories and hopes demonstrate the enduring love for the character and the creative possibilities the multiverse offers. Marvel fans will undoubtedly keep their fingers crossed for the return of Iron Man in some form. In close, the anticipation surrounding the potential return of Iron Man in the MCU is palpable. The multiverse has introduced a wealth of storytelling opportunities, and fans are eager to see how Tony Stark's legacy might be continued or revisited. Whether it's through a mutant Iron Man, flashbacks, AI mentoring, or appearances in upcoming series like Ironheart, the door remains open for the beloved character's comeback. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these theories and hopes for Iron Man's return? Do you believe we'll see Tony Stark back in action sooner than expected, or is it just wishful thinking? Share your opinions and speculations in comments, and let's keep the conversation alive about the potential resurrection of Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you enjoyed this conversation and want to stay updated on all things Marvel, feel free to subscribe to our channel for more exciting updates.